What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Haven't made a video in a while. Got a lot of stuff going on. Warm weather's picking back up. Right now we're working on a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Also, you'll see this bike sitting behind me, this 1991 Suzuki GS500. We got that for 150 bucks, so I'm going to put up a few videos of working on that. But right now I'm going to button up this rear brake job on this Outlander. It's rear drilled and slotted rotors and pads with a brake flush. We'll finish that up, get that out of here so the customer could have their car back. The lady does Uber. And then I'll show you guys some of the other stuff we're working on, so let's get to it. So yeah, guys, the woman that this job is for, she wanted me to point her in the right direction and had a lot of questions about, what kind of brakes should she get, where she should get them from. And honestly, I recommended to her, I said, the big box stores, they charge you an arm and a leg. If you're not pressed for time, I would order them online. So she went on Rock Auto, looked at a different couple sets, and she ended up deciding on these drilled and slotted rear rotors and pads. It was a kit, and she got 2 quarts of brake fluid from AutoZone. She got a good deal on these. They came pretty quickly, 3 days, and they're quality parts. So this is what we're going to be putting on for her, and this is the first set of rear brakes this car is going to be getting. It's got kind of low miles, 60,000 on it, so these brakes lasted a little while. Not too bad. Granted, they're the rears, but these new ones should last her a while. So we'll get these things on. Already did the driver's side, looks nice. I run these brakes on all of my cars. This is my 2012 F-150, and then this is my 2013 F-150. These are from Detroit Axle. They look great. So we'll get these on, and then we'll do the brake flush and get her car back. So there is one thing. These brake pads, they didn't come with new clips, new slide clips, or pad clips. So with the caliper bracket, we're just going to clean up the slides. They're a little firm, a little stiff, but they're not seized. You would tell if they were seized if they didn't move, obviously, and by uneven pad wear, or if the car is pulling left or right when you're driving without hitting the brakes, and then excessively when hitting the brakes. And then you also don't want to mix up these slides. Sometimes one of them will have that rubber O-ring on it and the other one won't. So I like to do one at a time. Obviously, this isn't a how-to video, just kind of, putting another video out. It's been a while since I made one. So I'm just showing you guys a, quick day in the life at Mike's Motorsports. But we'll finish up this brake job, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the bike. I'll show you guys the bike and tell you the backstory on it. And that'll be that. We'll start putting out content again. Yesterday, my buddy's got a 2012 or 2011 Dodge Ram. We did front and rear brakes, rotors, and pads on that too. They were shot. He ended up getting the Detroit Axle brake kit, just like I showed him. Same one I run on my trucks. Really good kit. I'll throw a link in the description to their website. You guys can check them out. I don't work with them. I pay full price. I don't have an affiliate code, but they got good parts. So, all right, let's get this caliper bracket on and get this show on the road. All right, so I do want to point something out to you guys real quick. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge, but for the people that don't know it, so a lot of these newer cars, any car that has an electronic parking brake, the little button inside the car for the parking brake, that electronic parking brake, if you are going to service the rear brakes to push the piston back in on the rear caliper, you have to, for most of them, put the car into service mode, which you need a bidirectional scan tool for. This is an auto fix. It runs Autel software. It's powered by Autel. It says it right there. And it's a really good scan tool to do this type of work with. It's like $350 on eBay. You know, it's called the D1 Lite. But for this particular car, if you go into the EPB for the electronic parking brake, it says that it's not supported by the ECU. So in that case, you can just use your, your caliper, spin-in, press-in tool, and you're gonna crank it to spin it. And once it starts to get tight, then you're gonna tighten this nut to push the piston in, and just continue doing that process. If at any point in time it does bind up, you want to stop and maybe do some research and figure out the service procedure for it, so you don't damage that caliper. Alright guys, so actually as a man, I admit when I am wrong and when I've made a mistake. So the driver's side, I was able to just push in, no problems, didn't bind up, nothing like that. It seems to be that Mitsubishi is kind of like Chrysler, where you got to pay for a subscription to get into the ECU. I have a bidirectional scan tool, but I don't pay for that subscription. I tried to retract the passenger side, and it would not go in. I didn't want to force it. Did some digging, some research, like other people should do. And another way around this feature is to just get a power probe, which I have a power probe, and you're going to find the plug. Disconnect the plug. You'll be able to tell real fast the polarity that you have to use. Don't have anything in between there, but hook up your negative lead to one and apply power to the other. And if the piston comes out, you need to reverse them, and you'll be able to retract the piston and then just press it in when it gets hard. Apply power again to the motor to retract it in more, and then press it all the way in until you can fit your brake pads. So I was wrong. The driver's side worked, no issues, but the passenger side, I had to do this. So I'm doing that right now, and then we'll get this all together. So I do make mistakes. I'm a human, but I'd like to admit them and let other people know, so that other people know what to do. Alright guys, so that's that. I'm going to make sure that the parking brake works. I'm going to pump the pedal a few times just so we have a pedal. And then I will do the brake flush. So brake flush, the best tool that you could have for that, even brake bleeding, is this Mighty Vac vacuum brake bleeder. It's my favorite. Get one. If you don't have one, get one. Don't waste your money on those little dinky ones, with the hand pump and stuff. If you got an air compressor, I recommend that brake bleeder. So let's get this show on the road. Alright guys, so I'll just show you real quick for all the people in the comments that are gonna say, oh, that'll break it, that doesn't work. So the car's on. Obviously we pumped the pedal a few times, made sure that we got a pedal. This is the parking brake, so we'll apply the brake, pull the parking brake, light goes on, parking brake's on. Everything works. Push it down, parking brake's off, no lights on the dash. So we got a good pedal. Now we'll start the brake flush, and we'll go from there, finish this up. We got the 1991 GS500E in. We did a bunch of work to this bike. Basically, I bought it and it was sitting under a tarp for like 2 years. Bike didn't run, needed a lot of work. I put $150 down and bought the bike outright. $150, brought it home. We're about $1,000 in it right now. And we just picked up a nice ass Delcovic Performance X Oval. No idea. $250 on eBay. Stock exhaust looks trashy. Thing sounds like a dirt bike because it's only a 500. So why not? So we'll do a cold start right now. I'll start it up. Bike starts right up. You guys will see in a second. And we'll do a comparison after I put the exhaust on. So we'll go over to the bike. It would help if I had the keys in the ignition. So yeah, sounds like a dirt bike. Sounds like your typical CRF 150. So we'll get this exhaust on and see what kind of noise differences and what kind of power gains we pick up. I also got a set of handlebars for it because the stock ones are bent. And like I said, I'll go over and more in depth of everything we did do to the bike. But new chain, it's got a new clutch in it, brand new front and rear tires, new front and rear brakes, new gas tank, bunch of stuff that we did to it. LED headlight bulb. So let's get started.